I would never claim to have your range as an actor, David. Shall I do posh and repressed or repressed and posh?
I once got so drunk, I whipped out my laptop, thought, what the hell, and ordered myself a Latin phrase book.
Please, team.
What sort of... But a Latin phrase book feels like quite an unusual thing. When would you use a Latin phrase?
It's actually, strictly, it's called a Latin primer. But it is a book of Latin phrases and Latin grammar.
But nothing had happened in the previous years where this was a problem. You were fine without your Latin.
Well, I had a, very awkward dinner with a centurion, but... No, it wasn't like... Yeah, I hadn't particularly felt that gap, but I was...
Give us some of your favourite Latin phrases.
I can't
You must know one or two, a man of your learning.
Veni, vidi, vici.
Or
Veni, vidi, wiki.
Yes.
Depending on how you pronounce it.
What does it mean? I came, I saw...
I conquered. Quod erat demonstrandum.
What I have just demonstrated. Yeah, I went to a comprehensive. I know all of these phrases, David.
Is there any modern practical phrases, like, where is the station?
No, and if you think about it, you'll know why.
How did you get on with Latin when you were at school?
No, we didn't do Latin, no.
You'd need a primer, wouldn't you? You'd need a phrase.
We had loads of that in the shed.
Tom, what are you thinking?
The idea of buying a textbook for a language that is no longer spoken for somebody who works in an environment where that language isn't used, which was taught to him at school several years ago, that he had to get drunk to buy, is exactly the sort of thing that David Mitchell would do.
You're going to say it's true, Lee?
Definitely.
You think it's true? They all think it's true.
No.
Right.
Oh, it's true.
Oh. David.
Yeah. Of course it's true.
Yes, it's true. David did drunkenly order himself a Latin phrase book.
As a child, at my grandparents' house, I had a little bell that I would ring if I wanted anything.
Lee.
Why did you have a bell?
Well, there was a bell. It was a pre-existent bell. There was a bell in the house, and I liked it.
Only at the grandparents' house?
Yes.
Not at home?
Because your parents didn't play that shit.
Yeah.
At home, you just sort of went... And... How old were you?
About 6.
What were the things you wanted when you rang the bell?
More chips. A glass of orange squash. Sense of purpose in life.
Was it both grandmother and grandfather that would come and wait on you hand and foot, or was it just one or the other?
I was a small child. I was indulged to a certain extent, but then also to a certain extent there was, can you actually just stop ringing your bell now? OK.
So, Lee's team, what do you think?
The parents could easily have had a bell, and the little brat could have just... I
liked the bell. I liked ringing the bell.
He liked ringing the bell. Is it true or is it a lie?
Reginald, delicious hunter.
Well, sausage roll, I believe that there's a simplicity to the story that rings true.
I'll go with that.
Go on, then. We'll say that that's true.
You're saying it's true. David, is it true or is it a lie?
Well, it is, in fact, true.
Yes. Yes, it's true. As a child, David's grandparents' house did have a little bell that he would ring if he wanted anything. Ding-a-ling. Could I have a posher upbringing, please?
That's a remarkable impression, because it has the advantage of also sounding quite a lot like Ken Livingstone.
I thought that as I did it. You're absolutely right. As I did it, I thought, this isn't the best David Mitchell I've ever done.
Right.
If it was going to be one of the good David Mitchells, it'd be a bit more like this. I don't know why anybody would think I would do that. Why would they think that? And I'll tell you another thing.
It's true! It's true! Move on! You don't even need to hear it.
This is my bare tablecloth. Customs officers once cut his head off and searched him for smuggled goods.
Can we see? Is there proof? Let me
Yes,
see.
as you
Is
can
there
see.
is there any way of telling?
There's some stitching there.
Oh, just tilt his chin up then so we can see the stitching.
let's have a
Not
look.
too much, I'm going to upset him. All right.
Can we have a look at the burr?
Yes, of
We'll
course
see
you
the
can have the
stitching.
bear.
Throw him over it violently.
No, don't
I couldn't possibly.
Come on, he's been decapitated. He's seen worse.
You can't throw the bear. That'd be a shame.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Sorry, I meant you to pass it to Rob. I've now, like, made you do the whole journey. Like, take the bear over there, please, Lorraine. It's in my contract. I never leave the desk.
David, just look at me. Right.
I didn't...
How's this making you feel?
That's really terrible.
Isn't it awful?
How he feels.
Really is.
He's had his head cut off and his thing ripped up, but that cannot possibly upset him.
Dave, why did you call this bear tablecloth?
Yes.
Because when I was very little, he had a little jacket made out of a tablecloth.
So
If this turns out to be a lie, you are a shameless little light entertainer.
Coming from you, Lee, that is a compliment.
Where was the customers? Where were you going from or to? Or?
We were going back from Minorca.
What did they say they were looking for?
I imagine it was a sort of a spot check.
Did you see them carving the head off? Was it happening in front of you on the table, on the...
No, I'm glad to say I was shielded from that moment.
David, I'm going off this story. You heartless bastard. Sorry, tablecloth.
What?
Do it to
Yeah.
him. Smash his face
Give
on
me the bear.
Oh,
I'm taking the bear into care.
You're about to do an appeal.
was there any reason why they didn't check the arms and legs?
I don't know. I should have asked them to. I should have said, call that thorough.
What's that?
I've done this before.
What's that you say? You say it's time for Lee's team to take a guess? All right. What do you think?
Maybe he's in denial, and the truth is he, as an adult, was searched for drugs, and he's so traumatised by what they did to him.
Yeah.
He's had to create a teddy bear and put it all onto him.
Show us on the teddy bear what they did to the customer.
Show us on the teddy bear where they shoved their fist.
That's why the bear's hands are like that.
OK, we can say lie, are we, Sue?
I think so.
Lie.
I think
OK.
so.
I don't think I can argue with
Lie.
that. So
OK,
lie.
David.
Well, it is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. David's teddy bear didn't have his head cut off by customs officers as they searched for smuggled goods. David.
To keep things exciting at home, every time I fill our tin with normal tea bags, I slip in one Earl Grey, knowing it could surprise me at any time.
Please, Steve.
Oh, it's for your own interest, not for the surprise of your wife.
Well, it could. I mean, she could be surprised by it also.
Do you put a normal tea bag in with the Earl Grey and let it brew, or is it in
No, it's in the tin of tea
in the
bags.
tin?
I
Okay.
fill the tin of tea bags with normal tea bags, but with one Earl Grey tea bag in the mix. Give it a little bit of a...
This is David's version of an
we go.
adrenaline sport.
It's not for the flavour.
Oh.
It's for the surprise element.
That's it?
Yeah,
It's as dull as it sounds. That's it.
What you've got to remember is I'm quite an uninteresting person, and I've been doing this programme since 2006. So, you know, this is all we've got now.
Now, the question is when you
yeah.
sip it and it's Earl Grey,
Yeah.
is it a pleasant surprise or damn? Because you obviously don't like it, otherwise you'd be drinking it all.
Absolutely. Do you know what I think overall, and I'm sorry to make this even more boring than it is already, but overall...
Possible.
Yeah. Overall, it is a neutral experience because I don't like the Earl Grey tea as much, and yet the surprise element brings it up to the same level as a normal cup of tea.
80 bags, box of Earl Grey. You could probably work it out, Lee. Is that 80 weeks that you'll have to have that box of Earl Grey?
How many cups of tea are you drinking a day?
Oh, I mean, loads. 5 to 8.
So he's getting through a box of tea bags every 10 days.
Every 10 days.
Takes a long time to get through a box of Earl Grey, although sometimes...
The Earl Grey hang on, the Earl Grey's almost 3 years old. By the time you've got to the last Earl Grey. And at no point, when you put when you get after...
You're interested now, aren't you? The sheer age of it.
I'm interested
because old, David.
Because at the end, when you put your last Earl Grey in, and that box is empty, where most normal people would then go, that's probably enough.
Yeah.
You'll go, I think I'll go again. For a whole new 3-year cycle. It's a 3-year commitment each time.
The thing you have to remember, sometimes people come round to the house and if you could believe that, you'll believe anything.
Yeah. But they don't ever leave.
And ask for Earl Grey.
Yeah,
then I'm just willing to take one from the Earl Grey box.
But what if you've run out and it was your final one in the thing? You're like, oh my God! It's disaster.
It's never happened. But obviously, what a frantic and exciting scene.
You say you're welcome to an Earl Grey, but you may have to have...
You find it!
You must have 80 cups of tea to find it. No, you're not going to! They're tied to the radiator in the cellar. Let us go!
OK, time to decide. Lee, what are you going to say?
I believe David is capable of doing this. He needs that little thrill.
You know I need excitement in my life.
You need excitement, but this is a lot of...
It's not exciting.
So you're saying it's a lie. David?
It was, in fact, a lie. Once, on a family day out, I got the jitters and had to flee an owl sanctuary.
Lee's team. What gave you the jitters?
I'd been asked to have a photograph of me taken holding an owl.
Right.
Where was this?
In Cornwall. I'm on holiday.
With your family?
Yes.
Oh, it was recently?
Yes.
Oh, I think you meant as a child with your parents. As a fully grown man.
As a fully grown man.
You got the jitters.
Adult man, I got the jitters.
Because you thought the owl might be a bit terrifying.
Yeah.
David, can I say that if you were my partner and we were at an owl sanctuary and you got the jitters and fled, you'd be toast, mate. I simply would have no respect for you at all.
What you have to remember, Anna, is that there's a long journey that leads to someone choosing to marry a person like me. And part of that journey is learning to cope with a person like me.
But also, to be fair, I've been to owl sanctuaries and they flap in everywhere. I mean, it's enough to...
they're predators. You know. I didn't know which owl they were going to put me with.
Right.
Some little owl, that's fine, any trouble. But you had a great big one like a mini post box.
Who was it who asked you for a photo?
I think it might have been the manager of the owl sanctuary.
He wanted a photograph with TV's David Mitchell.
Yes. When I was initially asked, you sort of think, oh, I should say yes, and then... Well, I don't know. It's not like I want to hold an owl. I'm sure it would probably be fine, but it'd be a bit stressful.
What were you worried about?
But, I mean, I thought they'll give you a big glove, and I never liked it in science at school.
You were worried about putting the glove on?
No, I wasn't worried about that. I'm trying to explain, but this is like a 4-clause explanation, so...
How many claws did it have?
Then they've gone off. They're not really, do I now have to sort of go to the reception desk and say, and ask for the photograph? To sort of go, is this what I said I'd get a photo? So, shall we do that? And then it might look like I'm sort of desperate to... Seeing as I'm here, will you please take a special photo of me?
I'll tell you what, sounds like a lovely, relaxing day out with you.
So did you have to say to Victoria, I'd be happier if we left? Or did you just say, we're going? How did you approach that?
I think I did it in more of a vague, pathetic way.
Let's go, we're going. Let's go to the car.
Oh, I don't like that impression of you.
Let's go, I want to flee the scene.
David, I'm so sorry.
She absolutely hates you.
Exactly, I know, Lee. Just when I'm getting a bit of a handle on my own self-loathing, then this happens. These guys have been trying to build up my confidence for weeks.
4 years.
This is the first episode I've spoken in.
Right, let's have the voice of reason. Johnny, what do you think?
I don't think it's true. I think you're too well-mannered.
I think it's true because I think David is a duplicitous person.
All right. What are you going to say, Lee? You've got a truth and a lie.
I can see David doing this. They were probably on the edge of bankruptcy, and they said, what we need is a celebrity to walk through the door. Then the music started, and you walked in, and they went, the Owl Sanctuary is saved. If you can have a photo, and we can put it on the website, things will change for us. But no, you fled, and all those owls were put down.
No, you...
I've got to go with a sensible one and say, true.
You're going to say that it's true. David, was it true or was it a lie?
It was true.
Yes, it's true. David really did flee an owl sanctuary.
Possession.
Now, behind your chair is a box. Open the box, read the card, and then take out the possession.
It's a beautiful box.
Yeah.
I like it.
Look at that. This is entertainment.
Yes. This is my cape. I used to put it on, pretend I was Doctor Who, and head into my TARDIS. Or, as my parents called it, the airing cupboard.
Put the cape on.
All right. It is.
Come, feel free, David. Come and use the floor space. Think back to your dancing days. Come out and use the floor. You could have a glamorous assistant in the form of Miranda.
Oh,
Miranda, would you help David get into his cape?
Hang on.
Am I
Can we put this over there?
That's what I'm
That'll hold
thinking.
it in place.
There we go.
That fits. That actually fits you really well. Were you exactly the same size as a child?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't see you properly, David. Could you come and stand in front of me and twirl round? So you just...
lovely.
Yes, that's
That
actually...
is a much
and how
needed
old?
reminder of the
How old were
magician.
you? When was this?
I think...
This is how I picture you walking round your house now.
How old was I? I think at the time I was first given this cape, I think I was about maybe 10.
10? In that cape?
Maybe 9. It was too big for me initially.
Right. Hang on a second. Whoa. When you were 9, so to give us an idea of the height, go down, just go give us knees, and we'll see how much it would have dragged. So that would have been you as...
Hang on, it's
Can I have your shoes for a second?
rocking.
Can I take this off?
What are you doing?
Well,
Your shoes.
Oh, I see. Right, sorry.
An idea how you might have looked in those days.
Yeah. This is how the police do sort of ageing profiling.
Yes.
What would he have looked like a few years ago?
Just get yourself on. Hang on. This one's got to
There we go. It would be...
Did you say your mum and dad got you this cape?
My mum made it.
Your mum made it?
Yeah.
But even though she made it for you, had she no idea what size it should be?
Were you a close family, David?
Where's he getting cramp in my knee?
You can go back to your seat.
Yeah.
I give you permission.
You look like a very middle-class disgruntled Dracula. I didn't get any blood tonight. I'll just shrug back to my chair and bite some virgin's neck tomorrow, I suppose.
So what do you think, Lee? Is it the truth or is it a lie?
I think... What do you think, Barry?
Not a shred of truth.
You don't think? I think it could be true.
It sounds incredibly likely. In fact, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if this is a habit that's actually finished. I imagine he's...
So Barry says a lie.
I'm the odd one out here, aren't I?
You say true.
I hope it's true. I think it's lovely.
I think it's lovely as well, so I'll say it's true.
You're going to say true.
All right.
David, truth or lie?
It is, of course, true.
Yes, it's true. David used to wear his cape and pretend he was Doctor Who.
Possession.
Well, you have to reach under your desk and lift out your box.
OK.
Yeah?
This is a letter rejecting me from a job at McDonald's.
Lee, what do you reckon?
Could you read it out to us, please, David?
Reference CM1156-P. Dear David, thank you for your recent application to work at the Abingdon branch. Unfortunately, at this time, your application has not been successful. Thank you for your interest in our company. Yours sincerely, Martin Danks.
And when was it dated, please?
It's dated the 19th of July, 1990.
And you will have been...
I will have been...
mortified.
Yes. I never really bounced back from that. I would have been just 16.
Does that add up, Carol?
He's 52.
At heart, yes.
I don't want to bring back unhappy memories for you, but what did you feel you could have brought to the company?
A certain nervous energy. A culinary snobbishness that is lacking in that company. A fear of interacting with customers. And an equal fear of frying chips.
I think Dave could have closed them down just by having people come and go, "Gives a burger." You don't want a burger, my friend.
I would not at that age have had the confidence to refer to someone as my friend in that way. I'd gone, why? Don't look at my face.
What do you think, Carol?
I think it's a lie, but I don't want to sway you on this because we need the points.
I reckon he's kept it. He's a peculiar mystery. Look at him.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like people looking at my face.
So, Lee, you're saying...
I have to say that I think that's probably...
True, it's true, it's true, it's true.
It's a lie.
I say it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie? OK, David, time to own up.
It is, in fact, a lie.
Nice work, Nice work.
It's a lie. Because David has never even been to McDonald's, although he was...
Of course I've been to McDonald's.
The best thing that the men's joke is, he went to visit Lee.
Can I please be allowed to read the auto-cue joke?
Okay.
David has never even been, although he was once mildly tempted to pop in and sample their short-lived McPheasant zinger.
Excellent. Good work.
Now characterising you as...
the joke computer. Possession.
Now take out a small box underneath the desk there. Have a look inside and show us what's there.
Smooth bit.
This is my special travel dressing gown.
It's definitely true. It is true. We need to hear no more, David. It is true.
I'm contractually obliged to finish the card. It's the one item I always pack when I go on holiday.
Could you, first things first, could we have the full modelling of the dressing gown, please?
Give us a nice twirl.
Oh.
Can we smell it?
I think you should come out here, David, so you can see. Enjoy the space. Well, he's having trouble putting it on. It's,
Well, he's not abroad, he's confused.
Have you forgotten the cord?
The cord is missing.
Just hold it as though it were done up so we get a proper idea.
Do you mind smoking a pipe and solve a crime?
Oh, I'd love that.
Can I ask, Dave, where did you get it from?
1924.
I think it's from Marks and Spencer's.
Is it? What did you say it's my special travel dressing gown?
Yes. I don't know if travel dressing gown is a technical term, but I have two dressing gowns. This is one. The other is a thicker toweling dressing gown, which takes up more space in a suitcase.
You take pyjamas. Do you wear anything under it, or?
Yes, I usually...
I feel sick.
I usually... What I don't do is I don't tend to wear it over, you know, like normal clothes like this.
This is like the worst sexy chat line I've ever run over in my life. I'm naked under here.
To be honest, Lee, I don't know why you come into so many encounters with me expecting arousal.
Does that go with you at any trip or certain trips?
No, only if I'm going to stay the night somewhere.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I didn't think you were walking around Dixon's in it.
I'd like you to take a guess, please. Is he telling the truth or is he constructing a lie?
Patsy?
True.
You think it's true?
Yeah.
Chris?
Based on the design of the dressing gown and his demeanour, I think they fit.
So, Lee, what's it going to be?
I'll go with my team. So
You're going to say it's true.
Yeah.
David Mitchell, is it true or is it a lie?
It is true.
Yes, it's true. That is David's special dressing gown.
It's just a dressing gown. That's not my special dressing gown. Like, I think it's got a personality.
It's David's special dressing gown.
You are never going to get away from that now. Everyone who sees this show will look at you and see that forever.
Basically, my entire image has been destroyed by this show. I was like a cool guy who was into music and modern art before this show, before all the stuff about dressing as an 18th century nobleman and having a little bell came out. The travel dressing gown is just the tip of the iceberg.
So, just so we're in no doubt, that is David's special dressing gown.
Aged 7, I wrote to Father Christmas and told him I would much rather have a map of Saxon Britain than the roller skates I feared he was getting me.
All right, Lee's team.
Wow. Well, you know him best of all.
That's true. True.
You didn't want roller skates?
No.
Why did you think he was getting your roller skates?
Roller skates were a popular toy around, you know... I'm not saying they're just a toy. Of course, they're I don't know, a sports item, a novelty shoe. Yeah. But roller skates were being given, and I hated the thought of them.
What was the attraction of the map?
Well, I'm quite interested in history, and we'd done the Anglo-Saxons at school that term.
Did you get the map?
I did, yes.
Do you still have the map?
No.
Why not?
Because a lot of its analysis of the Anglo-Saxon era has been discredited.
And at 7, you were able to work this out?
In fact, it was a very simplistic view of the way England was then, with these small number of rigidly divided kingdoms, and we just can't know that it was like that.
What are you thinking, Angela?
Yeah, it's the kind of nerdy thing he probably would have done when he was 7, yeah.
I mean, it's plausible, but I don't think it's true.
I am actually 50-50 on this. I think we're going to say... I think it's true. I'm going with Angela.
You're going to say it's true. OK. David, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Oh. Of course it's a lie.
Next. I've yet to find the courage to make a contactless card payment. I considered it once, but decided that full PIN entry was the safer method.
Please, team, what do you think of that?
What do you fear, David?
Well, it's a security risk, isn't it?
Why is it a security risk?
Well, because you don't have to put in your PIN.
The only security that's relevant is that you know it's you. If you know it's fine, contactless and the PIN's the same thing.
But who among us can be sure of who we really are?
Where did you consider using it, David?
I've considered it a few times in a few places, because sometimes people suggest it, which I think is rather forward. They suggest you say, I'm sorry, am I keeping you? You know, you haven't got time for me to enter 4 digits now.
Do you have an Oyster card?
Yes.
Ah, so you're happy with contactless there?
If the Oyster card gave you the option of putting in a PIN, I'd be all for it, but that's never been set up like that. No. And I'm not so weird as to go into Oyster HQ and ask to have a particular high-security Oyster card issued specially for me.
It's very hard to get into Oyster HQ, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to take like a knife and prise it open.
Absolutely. Well, you have to get past Pearl on reception.
Have you ever used it, then? Have you used it once?
I've yet to find the courage, so no.
Do you have a mobile phone?
I have a mobile phone.
Would you ever use Apple Pay? We can't call it that. Orange, well, we can't do they're a company as well. Would you ever use Pay?
Would you ever use your mobile phone?
Because I sometimes do that. I'm quite happy to get my phone out in M&S, and I feel quite cool. I hold it, and it pays it. Do you want a receipt? No.
No, I've never paid for anything like that.
You've never paid for anything with Apple Pay?
No.
What? What are you talking about? Have you just got a new phone? Are you starting some new adverts that we don't know about, Rob?
All right, so what do you think?
What do we think?
I'm very scared of it, so
Scared of-
I empathise with that, so yeah, why not?
OK.
It seems so obviously him.
So you've got to go for a true.
I think he fears it, yeah.
OK, you're saying it's true. David, you fear contactless payment, truth or lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
Oh, he loves it.
Possession.
There'll be a little box under your desk.
Thank you.
There's a card inside, David. Read the card out first, and then
This
when
is
you've done that...
just a little something me and Rob got you for Christmas.
And then, once you've read it out, then pop the object on the desk.
OK. These are two of the best gifts I was given last Christmas.
OK, and take them out and pop them on the desk. There we are. Right. Lee.
Well, first question is what... I can see what one of them is, but what's the other one?
It's a hat.
No. What's the stick thing?
Yeah.
It's a wand. You know,
OK.
You do magic with it.
Well, don't wave it around. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Who bought you it?
Yes.
My wife.
Oh.
That bit is true, in case you
Yeah.
wonder. He has got a wife, yeah. That, most people don't believe it at this point, but it is. He has got a wife.
Just to give us a fuller picture, let's see if the hat fits. And if it does, wear it.
on and then get the full, let's get the full effect.
Ah, but does the wand fit?
And then hold the wand.
So...
Well,
Cool.
You look like a proper Dickensian gentleman.
Yeah. When you open the present, did you say, this is lovely, but what is it for?
It's no. She said it was a wand thing where you can. It's got a battery in it.
Oh, it's a cordless one.
And you can make it. You can make it be a remote control.
Am I allowed to touch David's wand?
You can inspect it if you want to, but don't damage it. I'll get... Do you want me to get it?
As it's
You don't
Christmas.
trust me to get it without damaging it?
I'm just happier when you sat down.
OK. Get me the wand, please.
Were you born in a little northern town called Double Entendre?
Actually, in Cockermouth.
I don't know.
First thing is, I can't see any way you can get batteries in this thing. And it's got a light on the end, so obviously it does do something electronic. But I don't know where you would put a battery. You don't put a battery in the end of there, do you? Can you get a battery in the end of there?
No.
Oh, hello. Look, the end comes off, so we can definitely... It's an electronic item, definitely. That is a definite. And that's definitely a hat. I'm not an idiot. Rob, I broke it.
Have you really?
Well, something's come off the end. David, I'll get you another one, I promise.
You actually have lost
The end's fallen off the...
There
it is, there it is.
Give me the hat.
Oh, I've sat on the hat!
Give me the hat.
Wow,
Would you wear that in the house, the hat, David? Would you wear it around the house?
No, I wouldn't wear a hat indoors. Basically, you'd wear a hat like this when you've, on the way from the cab to the scene of the murder.
So what do you think, Lee? What is your team thinking on this?
Well, I'm interested that Rob warns off manhandling and hurting it. Would David be that bothered?
I have got history on this show.
History of breaking
he
things?
He owned a pen in one episode, when it was his pen.
And you broke it?
Damn right.
There was another episode where he was supposedly a beloved teddy bear that I didn't own.
Yeah, but
he didn't know, and he tore its head off.
So, now, David, I would like to know, was there any explanation from your wife at all? Because obviously you've picked this up, you haven't known what this is.
An explanation?
Yes,
is
to
that
why
when you're given a present, do you ask for an explanation?
Let me
quite
finish.
aggressive, isn't
Let
it?
me finish, David. Was there any explanation at all as to why she married you?
No, she's never explained that, but I don't want to ask too many questions. I want to a good thing.
My husband bought me a dress that was 2 sizes too small once because he wanted me to lose weight so I could wear it. He did, and then when he gave it to me, he said, "Look forward to seeing you in it." So for his birthday, I bought him a coffin.
So what are you going to say then, Lee's team? Is he telling the truth?
Kelly, you're saying...
Lie.
You're saying lie?
Oh, I'll say lie as well,
OK, I have to go with my team and say it's a lie.
So the team is saying lie. David, truth or lie?
It is true. I recently shooed a fox out of the garden by squirting it with water. 5 minutes later, I watched in horror as it returned with its brother and ate my plimsoll.
Please, team. What do you think?
I've never heard anything so middle class in all my life.
I want to picture it. So you're in your house and you see the fox in the garden. Now, you don't, with the greatest respect, you don't strike me as overly nimble.
No, I'm not overly nimble, but I'm just nimble enough.
Between 1 and 10, how quickly were you in the garden?
I went out in the garden at top speed for me,
Yeah.
which I'm afraid is now 6.7.
Anyway, you come out into the garden, you've got the hose, you see the fox.
And he sort of moves away a bit, shows a certain degree of fear of the alpha predator. He sees me and he thinks, do you know, I think I'm safe with this guy. And I thought, well, I can't have this. I can't have the fox thinking it's one. If I lose my power to frighten off foxes, what am I?
Can I answer that?
So I grab my hose and I swizzle some water at them. I don't want to soak the poor creature.
Did you put your thumb on the end?
So I did put my thumb on the end, and I directed some water sort of towards the lawn, just kind of between him and me.
Yeah.
And that's enough. He's off.
I bet he went, after the fox went off, I bet he went.
Yeah.
I forgot he hadn't turned it off. Looked round sheepishly and thought, better get those plimsolls.
Are you in your pyjamas?
I was wearing normal clothes.
Well, David, we've got a different opinion of what normal clothes
Yes,
Did you?
It was black tie, not white tie.
So in a nutshell, you had a fox in your garden, you come out, water the thing out the garden, then a little while later, it comes back.
2 of them come back.
2 of them.
Now, where are you at this point?
I'm in the kitchen.
Right.
Noticing they've come back to the garden, thinking, dear, oh dear.
There was deer there as well.
and then the fox, and then one of the foxes goes and grabs this plimsoll that I keep by the shed.
Why?
For walking around the garden.
One plimsoll?
What? No, there's 2. I keep 2.
Tiny suggestion, why don't you keep the plimsolls near the back door so you don't have to get your feet wet if it's raining?
Well, you're full of home improvement ideas. I don't know, because I'm a moron.
What happens to the plimsoll?
One of them savages this shoe.
What's the other one doing?
I don't know. I don't speak fox.
If you want to do a proper impression of a fox, I know a woman. Providing you're a tad gullible, we'll show you exactly. So go on.
So I said, hello, Mr. Fox. I'm trying to communicate with you. Perhaps you could stop pooing on my lawn.
Right, Lee, what are you thinking?
Fundamentally, no Englishman leaves a pair of plimsolls as his garden footwear and keeps them by a shed.
So you're saying it's...
It's a lie.
It's a lie?
Yeah, I think it's a lie.
Well, I'll go with my team, even though I think it's true.
Saying it's a lie. OK, David. Squirting foxes in the garden, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
I thought it was a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. David didn't squirt water at a fox only for it to return and eat his plimsoll.
I find it incredibly irritating when other people fiddle with my jigsaws.
Please, team.
What was the last jigsaw you did?
It was a picture of the city centre in Oxford.
How many pieces was it?
1,000.
1,000?
What's your jigsaw etiquette?
My etiquette?
Well, when I say etiquette, I mean if you're doing a big jigsaw, you have to do it on something so that it doesn't upset everybody else's life. So what do you do it on?
My grandfather's coffin. Because we've all stopped hoping that he's ever going to come out. On a card table.
On a card table?
OK.
You have a card table?
That's nearly right.
And you start with the outside. you do the whole perimeter.
Yeah.
Where do you go then?
Then I go for recognisable objects in the scene.
So which particular recognisable bits are you looking for then?
Well, there's a building in the middle with a sort of dome and a spike. I'm an expert in architecture. So there was that thing, and there was several people wandering around, you know, like someone on a bicycle.
Whoa. He's saying, you know, specific. You're looking for specific things.
Yeah.
A person can go anywhere in the jigsaw.
No,
Yes,
they can't. They can only go where they go.
I will say.
You can't go. I put a person. I'm going to put him up there.
When you do a jigsaw, Lee.
Yeah. I don't, David, because I've got a life. But carry on.
Yeah. No, fair enough. No, I was going to say, do you use scissors? Because that's a.
You know I'm not.
That's a
scissors.
So generally, a 1,000-piece jigsaw. You're coming back to it now and again.
Yeah.
Work commitments permitting. How long does it take?
Let's say 3 months.
OK, 3
All right,
months.
let's say it. 3 months.
3 months. It's a 1,000-piece jigsaw,
Yeah.
333 pieces a month.
Excessive.
So he's doing about 90 pieces a week. So he's doing about 15 pieces a day, right? 15 pieces a day is borderline. You need help.
I don't need help, and I don't like it when people help.
That's the point.
So, Lee, what's it going to be?
Alex?
Well, if he was into jigsaws properly and you didn't want a fiddler, you put cling film on it.
What? You're even weirder than me. Wouldn't the cling film sort of stick to the pieces, and then so when you pick the cling film up, it would sort of undo
what you do,
weeks
right?
and months of work?
No.
That's horrible,
Because you
isn't it?
buy a massive tray,
Yeah.
you do it on the tray. Not only can you carry it around if you need to dust, but also the cling film wraps underneath.
You've watched far too many features on the one show, haven't you? This week we're talking about tricks for jigsaws. You probably think it's just the four corners you have to know, but no, get your cling film ready, we'll tell you after this. John, do you think it's...
Well, I can see. I think David's a contemplative type of person, you know, and jigsaw puzzles kind of allow you that loose space to be, to be a ruminative. It takes you to a ruminative place that you wouldn't otherwise enter in the normal run of events.
But just to clarify, is it true or false?
True.
Okay, go, true.
OK.
You're going to say true. OK, David, truth or lie?
It is true.
Oh.